So far, all of the programs that we have written have made use of what is called volatile memory. And volatile memory is memory that exists for the time period when the program is actually running. So if you remember our discussion of functions, I could say def test x equals 5, and then print x. But then when I come back outside of the function into the main body of the program, I no longer have access to x. So I can run this, and you'll see that I get this error because x is not defined. And that has to do with the scope of x. And volatile memory is very much like this. So when I say in the main body of the program x equals 5, that 5 is saved for the duration of the program running. And once the program stops running, that number is no longer saved. For many cases, this is fine, but oftentimes we want a more permanent solution. So let's say I am trying to collect data over a long period of time, and I want to save that data in a place that will hold it indefinitely. What I can do is use a file. Now this is pretty easy to do. I need to make a variable, so I'll call it file equals, and then I'll call the function open. And this is going to open a file, and we need to specify the name of that file. So I'm going to say test.txt. And then we need to specify what we want to do with this file. We either want to read the file, write to the file, or append to the file. And I'll go over each of those individually. Let's start with writing to the file. So I can say W. Now when you specify write to a file, it will actually create the file if it does not already exist. So if I go to my desktop, you can see that this tutorial file is the only thing that exists on my desktop. So when I actually run the program, it is going to look for test.txt in the same directory that the program itself exists in. And in this case, that is my desktop. It's not going to find test.txt, so it's going to create it. So let's run this. You can see there's no output, but on my desktop there is now this test.txt file. So let's delete this for now, and let's tell it to actually write something in that file. So we can say file.write hello. Now if I run it again and come back to my desktop, the test.txt file has the output hello in it. Now, if I run the program again, I'm going to say hello again, save this, run it, and back on my desktop, if I open test.txt, it now says hello again. And the important thing to notice is that the original hello is gone. So when you open a file with the write command, it will actually overwrite anything that's already in there. And if we want to use this as a log for data over time, that's not good. So what we can do is specify A for append. And let's change this to hello there. Now appending is going to create a new line on the file and add any write commands below it. So if I run this, I gotta close it to refresh it, and now it says hello there. And this isn't quite what I was expecting, actually. I wanted it to save this to a new line. And I can do that manually with what's called an escape character. So I can say \n, which is the escape character for a new line. So if I save this and run it, open the file, you'll see that all of these are now on new lines. Now, as it stands, these programs are actually incomplete. It's important to remember to close your files once you are done with them. So I'm going to say file.close. And now let's run it one more time. And everything is working great. So writing and appending to files are great ways of getting information into a file, but we also want to be able to get the information out of a file. And we can do that with the read command. And I can delete this and specify file.read. And let's pass that to another function, print. So I want to print all of the contents of file.read. So let's run this. And you can see it prints out all of the contents of the file. I can also save this to a variable. So I can say x equals file.read and then print x. If I run it, has the same output, but now I can access x multiple times. But what is probably the most useful is being able to iterate over the file. So I can read it line by line. And I'm going to do this with a for loop. So let's say for line in file. And let's create an array above this. It will be empty for now. And I'm going to append the line to the results array. And then let's print the item of index 1. And remember, that is the second item in the array, because arrays are zero-based in their indexing. So if I run this, you'll see that I'm printing out only a specific part of the file. So using the read, write, and append functions, we can do a lot with files and save our data in a persistent location in memory. So if this video was useful for you, please leave a like. It helps me grow the channel and it will help other people find the video. And again, if you would like to see these tools used in a broader context, I recommend checking out my Developer Diary series, where I am working long-term on big projects and actually putting these tools to use. So thank you for watching. I hope you learned something, and I will see you in the next one.